Welcome to Class Act with Ilse Klink, and if you're new to my channel, it's good to have you here. So every week I'm going to be bringing you a video, and at the end of the video I've invited a special guest to speak to you about the two things they wish they knew when they started out in the industry. And this week we're going to be talking to Didintle Khunou, who was recently seen in The Color Purple, for which she won an Lady Award. And she's also been in the Rocky Horror Show as well as The Throne. So we'll be seeing her at the end of this video, so stay tuned. Last week we spoke about what you needed to do to become an actor. And I told you that was training. So this week we're going to be looking at a few essential points on what you're going to be doing at your tertiary institution that you decided to study at, or with your drama teacher. So the first focus, and the very important focus, is going to be on the body, because this is your instrument. This is what you're going to be using your whole career. So you've got to look after your body. So the focus at varsity or in your training is going to be on creating a neutral palette. And when I say neutral palette, so we look at what the body is doing at the moment. What are your habits? What are are your shoulders hunched over? Or do you press your chest out like this? Do you lead with your hips? Do you walk with your feet first, way out in front of you? So instead of having hunched shoulders, we'll teach you how to elongate and straighten the spine and open up your chest so that you are in a neutral position. And this happens a lot with tall people who want to fit in with the rest of us shorties, or short people who lift their heads like I do, just to be able to communicate with people who are taller than me, So I had to learn how to bring my chin down and have an elongated spine and work with my eyes instead of trying to look up like that the whole time. That creating a neutral palette is absolutely pivotal to be able to take on various characters that you've decided to play. Also gives you a lot more options to play various characters instead of staying in the position with your hunched shoulders and all your characters have that particular position when you're a performer. So a lot of students will spend hours walking around a room and thinking, what am I doing? Why am I walking around for hours and hours and hours? Did I pay for this? The reason why we do that is so that you can understand what your body does. How does it feel when I walk with my spine up? It feels slightly uncomfortable because I'm not used to doing that. What do my feet do when I walk? Oh, this is what they do. So if I need to have a limp for a particular character, this is the manner in which I should be walking. And if you don't understand things, this is also vital. If you don't understand the purpose of a particular exercise that you're doing with your teacher or at varsity, ask your lecturer. There's nothing wrong with asking, You spend 3 years, you're walking around the room and you don't know why you're doing it. So the other large focus is going to be work on the voice, your instrument, your moneymaker. You're going to learn projection, articulation, and breath work. So articulation is important because you need to be able to speak so that you're understood. And this doesn't mean that you have to change your accent, because South Africa's got a whole range of accents. I mean, unless they call for an American or British or Japanese or German accent, that is going to be important to change your accent. What it means actually is being able to be heard, regardless of the accent that you practice in, unless it's called for you to do something else. Then projection, to be able to carry your voice across the room into the back of the theatre, and that is vital. So know what your voice is at the moment, know where you place your sound, know where you need to place your sound, whether it's in your head, whether it's in your nose, maybe some people are very nasal, they speak like this, or in your chest. So placement of the voice is always going to be very important. A lot of theatres these days use lapel mics, so it's good for musical theatre and in intimate theatres as well. However, you also need to give your sound technician something to work with. So it is important to articulate and it is important to project so that they don't have to push your volume so loud that it feeds back, so that they have feedback in the house. So you need to give them something to work with. It's not okay to rest on your laurels and hope that they're going to pick up the beauty of your voice when you give them nothing to work with. Breath work is going to be important because you need to be able to breathe and understand how to breathe to be able to say terribly long sentences, or if you are seeing when is a good time to snatch a breath, take a deep breath, so that you don't, when you breathe, you're not supposed to be looking like you're taking this massive breath like that. You've got to breathe into the bottom half of your body, around your stomach. It's got to feel like you're breathing in there, even though you are breathing into your lungs. So they'll teach you all of these things. Then you're going to be working on relaxation and imagination. Now, imagination is exceptionally important for your character to understand where they came from before they walked into the scene. That's going to be something that needs to be explored. So we'll work on imagination quite a bit. So maybe you're playing a soldier, right? You've never been a soldier, but you need to be able to imagine what the soldier had been through. What did he experience? Was it cold when he was in the war? Was he in the desert fighting the enemy? What did it feel like when he saw his friends getting blown up? Or what did it feel like to be so fearful, to be so lost, to miss your family? All of those things need to be incorporated in your imagination so that when you walk into a scene and it expects you to be in a particular place with all of this history behind you, the dialogue that is being said, which are indicators of how your character is feeling, needs to understand that there was a whole history behind where the character finds themselves at that time. Finally, and most importantly, I think, is script analysis, text analysis. So taking a monologue or dialogue, breaking it down and understanding what is required of the character, what is being said about the character, which will lead you to the unfolding of a scene, to the playing out of a particular scene. This is what happens here. This is why the character says these words, because he's feeling depressed, or we know that he's got a history of mental illness, whatever it is, you know what I mean? So the dialogue will indicate what you're meant to be playing in a particular scene and what the character is experiencing. All of your clues will be in your dialogue. So script analysis, breaking down the text, is absolutely vital. Learn to do that quickly and have an understanding. And a lot of people just learn their words and they just go and say it. And then sometimes they don't know what they're saying because they haven't broken it down or they haven't listened to what is being said about their character. Your script will give you all the clues as to who your character is, what's happening to the character, what needs to unfold in the scene, what is your character's want, what is their need, what is their fear, and what they love. When you play a character's want, it gives you the opportunity to drive the scene. This is what the character is here for. The reason why the character is being placed in this particular spot is because they have a desire. There's something that they want. Let's say a woman's walking into a room. She's looking for her keys. Where are my keys? I can't find my keys. She looks all over. She's frantic. She's scrounging around, running through the house looking for her keys. Why is she looking for her keys? She has to have her keys. It's not because she wants the keys. She got a phone call from her mother that said she's needed back at the mom's house. Something has happened. She doesn't know. Mom's phone got cut off. In the middle of the conversation, what is my character's want? I want to get my keys. I need to get into my car. I need to drive across town to see what's going on with mom. We're playing the end result, the want. And everything that unfolds in a particular scene will be focused on the character's want. I hope you found this video helpful. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment or a question and I will answer it for you if I can. And now let's hear what Didintle Khunou has to say.
My name is Didintle Khunou. I'm a young South African and award-winning stage, screen, and voice actor. And the two things that I wish I had learned before I entered the industry: one, have a strong online presence, and really think about your personal brand, and don't be afraid to create your own content. I definitely wish that while I was in varsity, I archived a list of the documentation of the productions and the student films and the industrial theater and the children's theater that I was doing at the time, and that I had put it in a reel that could really sell me. I think it's so important that we realize that everything, all industries are moving towards the digital, mainly because that's just where the future is headed. And more people are consuming digital content, which means more and more people are on the internet, which means as an actor, you need to really think about selling yourself digitally on these platforms and having a strong online presence. So yes, that's definitely one thing that I wish I had entered. In such a hurry to just get any old agent for the sake of having representation because you're so desperate to get a job or to be seen in an audition. Find a representation that has your best interest at heart. Find an agent who wants to know what the vision for your career is, who cares about how they can help position you in a way that will help you fulfill your dreams. Don't just sign up to a fly-by-night agency that's going to put you in jobs and positions where you're going to be exploited and where you'll be unhappy, because it's when we do that kind of work, and when we work as an actor for the sake of making money, that sucks the passion and the joy out of why we do what we do. So be really picky about who you decide to represent you out there, and make sure that you and your agent have the same vision, have the same goals, carry the same belief systems, and I tell you, you will be very, very happy. So those are the things that I definitely wish I had known entering the industry, but I'm happy that I learned these things, because now I get to share them with you and help you get a competitive edge.